internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
what's left? Can you give us some?
The SEC is going to end up with a $50 million. The U.S. government's going to get $50 million. We'd even put a $50 million. The U.S. government's going to get $50 million. We'd even talked about making that available in XRP.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Things are moving extremely fast, and a lot of events are taking place. A lot of conversations are taking place behind closed doors that are going to soon be public. And before it goes public, we're going to cover it, we're going to dissect it, and we're going to pretty much go over why XRP is going to be such a powerhouse in this crypto ecosystem. Sit back, relax, because this one is going to be monumental. You heard Brock Garlinghouse drop the bomb saying that they might pay the SEC's $50 million fine with XRP. Not USD, not Ethereum, not even RLUSD, XR freaking P. If the US government accepts XRP, that means one thing. They're not just fighting crypto, they're building a bag behind closed doors. And you guys all know their stockpile, right? We don't know exactly how it is being, piled up, how much they're buying, when they're buying. But don't think for a second this was just a casual idea. This is Ripple showing confidence and power in this market, because when you can pay your enemies, think about it, when you could pay your enemies in your own token, you're not just playing the game, you're the one who wrote the freaking rule book. Think about it. And nobody could even dispute what I just said in terms of Ripple writing the rule book, because that's what they have been doing since inception. And the ones that want to disagree with that statement and think it's BS, you need to do so much learning. It's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. You got to go learn way more about what Ripple is, what they're doing with XRP, and why $100 XRP is going to happen whether you like it or not. Now let's talk about what they didn't say out loud, but quietly confirmed anyway. And shout out to Anderson for this one. We talked about this for a very long time, right? But this was tucked in a Ripple's job posting like it was nothing. Okay, this is incredible. So if we go to the jobs on Ripple, building the future with global impact, product, marketing, lead, stablecoin, and look what it says here, okay? You will help shape GTM, which stands for go-to-market for RLUSD, and other possible stablecoins. Other possible stablecoins. There it is. They just confirmed the rollout is coming. No more guessing. RLUSD is going to be chapter 1, and we're about to see chapter 2, chapter 3. Potentially in chapter 2, we could see RL Yen, RL Euro, RL Peso, RL Gold. Right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But here's what the key takeaway is, okay? And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Like, look at this airhead. Okay, look at this comment right here. They're completely moving away from XRP, it seems. I predict it will be non-existent in the near future. If I could snap my finger and this individual could just get a massive just punch in the face for stupidity and hopefully reshuffles his brain cells. And again, it's 2025. So when I see stuff like this, it just reveals the level of intelligence and the level of your knowledge. And it just disturbs me. Listen, guys, I've been in this for almost 8 years now. So when I see just stupid, I get triggered. Like, this is insane. Like, having this mindset, I would throw up every single morning if I woke up thinking that XRP will be non-existent because RLUSD and along with other stablecoins. Like, just think about that, They're moving away from XRP. I think it'll be non-existent. The king of clowns, I would say. It's not just wrong, right? What they're saying, it's straight up offensive. XRP is the middleware, the settlement rail, the liquidity engine, while stablecoins are the region-specific wrappers, if you understand that, okay? They're tied to their regions. You're watching a global financial network being built, and you think they're phasing out the one asset that makes it all interoperable? Do you remember the inception of his channel and how often, every video, we were talking about interoperability, having interoperability in the system? Right? These individuals aren't paying attention. Like, it's sad. And here's where things get even more wild. Brad, remember, praised Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Okay, I may have butchered that. I apologize. Called him the most pro-innovation, pro-crypto Treasury Secretary we've ever seen. And guess what Scott said a few days ago, and Brad Garlinghouse said this tweet back on November 22nd. And now listen to what Scott said.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street. Under President Trump's leadership, the Treasury Department and I will deliver that to you. Thank you.
My goodness, we need to take a close look at payment systems and the innovation around blockchain, stablecoins. This guy, I mean, manages trillions, okay? And now he's talking about updating the rails for payments and upgrades. You think Ripple isn't sitting at the table already? My goodness. Let's zoom out, okay? So here's what's lined up so far. And all of you guys need to dial in. We have Ripple paying fines in XRP. We have RLUSD launched meteorically, like it hasn't gone into full scale. More stablecoins are confirmed. Ripple buying Hidden Road. We got custody under our belt like insane. We got institutional rails being built. We got pro-crypto regulators sliding into our offices. This isn't a random series of events. This is a coordinated chess match that we have been watching this whole time. And XRP, it's the piece that touches every single square. So while people are out there worried about prices, Ripple is out here securing positions. They're not focused on hype, and they've made that very clear since day one. They're focused on domination and not the one in the bedroom, okay? By the time the world catches up, and by the time these headlines start screaming, XRP can it go to $10? Can it go to $8? XRP with a so-and-so percentage gain, it's already priced in. That's the truth. So lock in now, like stay sharp, because what's being built behind the scenes isn't just bullish, it's the foundational base. The future financial system, ladies and gentlemen, is being wired right now as we speak, and XRP isn't going anywhere, but it is going to go everywhere, if you understand what I mean. So salute to all the holders. We have come a long way. The new normal for XRP is $1.80, $2, and soon the new normal will be $5 and $10 and so onwards. Load up your bags. Once in a lifetime opportunity to get in at these prices, because $100 XRP isn't a meme. It's a mathematical conclusion to set up this bag, okay? Like, this is not, there's no, me go to bed wondering, am I providing any kind of nonsense of information? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will XRP reach a market capitalization of $10 trillion in our lifetime? 100%. And if you dispute that, again, so be it. So be it. I'm going to be laughing here for a very long time. For a very, very, very long time. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also, I just want to kind of go over, remember when Elon Musk has been moving those wallets? Again, I don't know if it's Elon Musk specifically moving the XRP from their main wallet. So you guys recall, they have currently 3, give or take, just under 6 million XRP sitting in Bitstamp. And these were the ones where they were moving from the main Isaac Newton wallet. This is Peter Thiel's wallet. They currently have 12 million XRP in there. And this, again, if you guys don't remember, these are the ones where they all accumulated, well, not accumulated, allocated all their XRPs into this one account, right? They consolidated into right here. They Thiel, Musk, Anderson. This is, again, Peter Thiel as well with another alias name. But this is when they put all their XRPs together in 2017. And now it's all sitting in Bitstamp. And people were wondering, are they going to dump? Are they going to dump? I'm going to say right off the bat, absolutely not. They're not going to be dumping this, XRP that's going into Bitstamp whatsoever. So I don't even worry about that. We talked about derivatives. We talked about Bitstamp working with Ripple for derivatives. We understand that derivatives is their next little place that they want to penetrate, okay? Again, one of many areas that they're going to start penetrating. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Huge drop right here by more stablecoins coming, right? Other possible stablecoins. And if we just take a look at Stellar, what's Stellar doing? I just love comparing Stellar because people love doing that. And I kind of like entertaining it. 28 drops only in America. What a joke. While XRP, sorry, I do apologize. Ripple has 66 drops. Look at all these different departments. This is an enterprise. This is the bank. This is when I worked them at the bank. This is a legit enterprise. This is something that you compare to like JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. Look at their location. Look at their headquarters. Look at Stellar. Okay. Again, cannot be comparable. Only in the United States. It's a joke. Okay, if you guys hold XLM, I've been telling everybody about XLM and why I don't hold it for a very long time. And all my reasonings have fulfilled its needs, okay? Obviously, Stellar has the potential to go up? Absolutely, yeah. But for example, if I were comparing two different assets right now to Axelar and XLM, and I'm holding also XRP, if I'm holding XRP and XLM, but I don't hold Axelar, it's a no-brainer that I would not even bother touching Stellar or getting rid of Stellar and putting to Axelar. But again, I don't know. So with that being said, do as you please. That's a little tip from me. It could go to zero. Everything could go to zero. So with that being said, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. The smart ones will understand, and we will be back with another video. And nobody could even dispute what I just said in terms of Ripple writing the rule book, because that's what they have been doing since inception. And the ones that want to disagree with that statement and think it's BS, you need to do so much learning. It's embarrassing.
Appreciate the opportunity to meet with you today. I commend your leadership in investigating virtual currencies and other emerging technologies. I'm pleased to offer an overview of Ripple and address any questions you may have. Ripple Labs is based in San Francisco and employs a team of 95 men and women with experience in government and regulation, finance and technology. Their previous experience includes Federal Reserve, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the NSA, Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, Apple, and Google. Our goal is to create faster, safer, and more efficient payment systems domestically and across international borders. In my view, a large portion of today's inefficiencies in payments stem from antiquated infrastructure. In many countries, the technology underpinning payments was last updated in the 1970s and was not designed with interoperability in mind. Because systems are not compatible, banks have to rely on a patchwork of intermediaries to move funds.
Hi, my name is Ryan Zagon. I'm with Ripple. I want to follow up with a couple comments on particularly the conversation about what we'll see going forward and the ecosystem, competitiveness dynamic at play globally. The U.S., I think, should very well keep that in the front of their mind. Okay. Now, while we are very early in this process, this isn't the first time we've had to ask ourselves this question. How do we regulate a new technology that we don't understand how it's going to evolve? We sat around similar tables back in 1997 and asked the same question about the internet. And while we didn't know how to regulate it then, we did come forth globally with a set of pillars that we use even today on how to regulate e-commerce. And that was that regulation should be simple, clear, consistent, coordinated, has security and consumer protections. And that was proposed by Bill Clinton, at the time president, to the UN. It was adopted there, and it was adopted in Europe under the Bond Declaration.
I think. Yeah. Oh, okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, committee members, thank you so much for inviting us here today. We really appreciate it.
For being here.
Thank you. So I'm Chris Larson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Ripple Labs. Ripple Labs is a software company based in San Francisco. We're at just over 100 employees today. About 2/3 of those are engineers. We're trying to bring together a combination of technologists with deep experience in cryptography, with financial experts that understand the basic plumbing of our global financial system, as well as regulators. We just added Gene Sperling recently to our board, used to be the chief economics advisor under both Presidents Clinton and Obama. And so what we see that's important about this technology, this distributed ledger technology, isn't so much that there's a creation of a new currency for the world. We actually don't think the world needs a new currency, has plenty of currencies. We think the big problem is moving those currencies around efficiently, either globally or even domestically. So if you look at the way money moves today, we have really a series of closed-loop systems. The U.S. system is actually not connected to the European system or Australia's system or China's system. And the only way that those value or payment systems talk to each other is through fairly antiquated technology and processes like correspondent banking, for example. So the problem with that is, I can literally send a package to Europe faster than I can send money there. So our current value exchange system is very slow, 2+ days minimum. It's actually very expensive for banks in terms of capital they have to put up and fees they have to pay the correspondent banks. There's actually quite a bit of risk in the middle. Payments fail all the time while being transferred. And there's sort of a key lack of competition for foreign exchange and sort of liquidity in our global payment systems. So what we see these technologies for being important today is addressing that need of banks to move value internationally and domestically. So we actually don't think today there's a particularly strong consumer or merchant value proposition. We think there absolutely will be, but we think right now these technologies can actually serve banks as sort of a key missing settlement infrastructure at the bottom of the payment stack. So leaving alone the application layer that banks use, the custodian of asset layer that banks provide, and even the rule setting that NACHA and SEPA in Europe provide today. This would really just address allowing value to settle in seconds instead of days, without the need of banks using an intermediary like a correspondent bank. Without the need of banks using an intermediary like a correspondent bank, banks could settle directly without risk of failure in the middle, and providing sort of new fundamental levels of competition for foreign exchange and liquidity. And kind of stepping way back, we agree that this is the beginning of an internet of value. That is now possible. It wasn't possible before Bitcoin. Bitcoin showed it was possible to do this. Ripple's taking that using a different technology based on the same principles. But the key thing is we think just like the early days of the internet of knowledge, going back 20 years ago, that internet would not have value unless you got the key custodians of knowledge on board, the universities, the research facilities, think ARPANET, Stanford. We think we're in that same period with the internet of value, that before these technologies have key utility, we have to get the custodians of value on board first. And those are the banks, financial institutions, market makers. Then I think we're set up where these things can have tremendous value across the board. And so again, the value these things bring are speed of payments, seconds from days, the ability to correspond directly, bank to bank, with much less counterparty risk in process, and with fundamentally more competition for foreign exchange and liquidity for those institutions, which will trickle down to the businesses and consumers that use those institutions.
It's
Started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our Degen pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem, for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight. Believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.